my name is Aviral, and today I'll be talking about empowering climate action through gamification and blockchain. So, yeah, my name is Aviral, and I'm a growth intern at Banana HQ and an operations intern at Polygon, and also I'm building my side project like plants and pillars. So, yeah. So yeah, actually climate is pretty worse these days. You can see this. So that clearly signifies we need to work on this space as well. So yeah, today I'll be talking about the refi space, the regenerative finance space, and then about carbon markets, and then gamification, how we can gamify the carbon markets and the refi space, and also some active refi space, like the projects which are active in this space. So yeah, how many of you know about what is refi, like regenerative finance? Are you aware of refi? No, so okay. Yeah, so it's basically an evolution from the DeFi space only. It's something like you can build on top of like public goods. So yeah, that's something. Yeah, and then it basically focuses on the innovative value exchange mechanisms. Like for example, you have DeFi like DEXs and all. So what you can do is that you can build public good projects and then you can deploy them on like the decentralized exchanges. Basically tokenize the like it helps in tokenizing the carbon markets and all. And yeah, it has a great like it helps in global collaboration and it has a tangible impact. Yeah, we'll learn about the carbon markets ahead. So yeah, first we'll learn about what are carbon markets. So anybody is aware about the carbon markets and the like carbon credits and carbon markets, how it's going on right now? Anyone? Like no? No problem. So if we go to the history of carbon markets, like how these work and all. So in 1980s, like the US government and all came to know about like sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide are actually causing acid rains, because of which there is a huge loss, and then yeah, climate is getting affected as well. So they came with a cap and trade model. So what a cap and trade model is that you can basically, for example, there are two company one and two, and each and every company has like gets a particular number of carbon credits. Carbon credits are basically the number of like the tons of carbon they like their particular company can emit to the environment. So for example, company one is Tesla and company two is Audi. So company one, like Tesla actually has electric cars, so they have relatively much less carbon emission or carbon footprint. So what they can do is that they can sell their carbon credits to company two. So basically all the carbon credits are available in the market. Like the government gives, like the companies have to purchase the carbon credits from the government, and then if they are like, for example, Audi is currently, for example, building both type of cars. So they actually are emitting more like CO2 as compared to Tesla. So they can simply buy carbon credits from Tesla in order to maintain their, you can say, yeah, credit score sort of thing. So, but there are loopholes in this space as well. Like initially when this thing started, so there were less incentivization models, which like caused the companies to like switch, not really use this model like the carbon credits part, and and for example, a company is in a particular country, and then they have operations in different countries as well, and the carbon credits model, like the carbon market in different countries had different rules and regulations, which caused them to like find out loopholes. And then what they basically did is that, for example, in a particular country, there are flexible rules. So what they did is that all the, you can say, they registered all their companies in that particular country so as to save some money there. like just like crypto companies are doing right now. Like yeah, everyone is going to Dubai. So yeah, this is the same example which represents like so for example, yeah, a particular company is emitting too much carbon dioxide, so they can yeah, buy carbon credits, and then those that amount would be donated to the companies which are actually working in this space to like plant trees or do something in the refi space. So yeah, talking about gamification. So like currently the refi space, if you consider the like the traditional market, so because nothing is on the blockchain, so they can easily there is no transparency, and also it's very difficult for them to actually monitor that the carbon credits that the companies are buying or selling, are they actually even working that much on the environment as well, like the amount which the government is collecting. So yeah, going on to the refi space, yeah, so like the amount which is being taken by the government. So if everything is brought onto the blockchain, so all over the world they can have a unified blockchain on which all these projects can be like deployed upon, and then everyone can basically yeah, it would be globally accessible and everyone can use that. So and yeah, the benefits of blockchain would help it to be very flexible and fast and efficient as well, and because there would be like in a particular country, it wouldn't be in a particular single jurisdiction. It like the rules would be same for all the countries if they are if the companies are deployed on the blockchain. So the use cases of refi currently are basically more and more on the public goods funding side, and like some other use cases which are being experimented right now in this refi space are UBI, which is Universal Basic Income, and then like the local currencies as well. dApps are actually building on local currencies for their particular community to in order to incentivize them. Yeah, moving ahead to the gamification part. Like currently, no one is actually caring about the environment. Like it's okay, yeah, we all are facing the problems caused by it, but then yeah, how to engage more and more people into this community. So gamification is something which can actually get all of us in this space, and yeah, so like you can see all the companies currently, like the marketing teams, they try to gamify the onboarding process for their developers, like posting Twitter spaces or like giveaways. They try to gamify the onboarding experience. Similarly, that can be used in the refi space as well in order to motivate more and more people to get to contribute to the climate action part. So yeah, if you see this image, like the people are like like running on the treadmill, but then they are on a screen, like they are playing a game as well. So yeah, that is actually causing them, like the running part is actually gamified in order to get or collect more points. So yeah, and Hooked, it's actually a book which helps us to build habit building projects. So projects or products. So it has four basic parts, which is first one is trigger. So any like if you want to gamify any game or something, for example, we used to play PUBG and all like the games. So first of all, like there's a trigger. Trigger is something if you get a notification from your friend or the game in order to play if something interesting is going on, and then based on the trigger you perform some action, like you play the game, and then when you win something and then you invest time in it. So that's a particular model which can be implemented into the refi projects or any project in this space in order to gamify their experience, and then yeah, onboard more and more people into the space. So we actually experimented building a similar thing. So Fi is actually a project which is built by some Japanese people, and then so it's what it does is that you can like all the NFT transactions which you do, or all the on-chain transactions which you do, you can actually mint them as NFTs, and then you can collect these assets like NFT objects, and then you can like basically decorate your Filand. So it's something like yeah, that's what Filand does. It helps in like getting all the on-chain assets and deploying it on the on-chain NFT. And then there is this Treasure protocol, which actually For example, if a company wants to donate to, like if a company or or a person wants to plant trees, so what they can basically do is that they can buy these tree NFTs, and someone in some part of the world can actually use their mobile app to plant that tree and then basically give regular updates uh, to the person who actually bought that NFT. So this protocol actually has built the infra for all this to like track like when the people buy the NFT and then when different people are planting them. So we actually plan to combine these two platforms because Treasure Protocol has built an amazing infrastructure. They even got funding from UNICEF, but the gamifying thing isn't working that much. Like they have reached some good numbers because of the marketing part, but then you can cross the inflection point by like we proposed something to them, something like Plants vs Zombies, if you would have played this game. So it's something like we can integrate this Fireland and this Treasure Protocol in order to build something like this. So a game which in which like when you plant trees, so you need to level up those trees, or there would be basic daily challenges and all which like the players can play, and when they'll buy those NFTs, so it would basically bring in more scale, like it would scale the application as well as it would have a public a good positive effect on the environment as well when more and more people will plant trees. So yeah, that's about it. And then there are risks of gamifications as well. Like currently, if you know like what PUBG did to the like if the game or any DApp is finally having a zero sum game, like if the users are not actually gaining something out of it, then that's of no use. But yeah, games like these or there are dApps which are actually working on this refi space, so they are gamifying this space. So yeah, something like that is good, but if it's having a zero sum game, then that can be harmful for the community as well. So there are currently 4 or 5 platforms, some of the major ones being Gitcoin, Giveth and CLR Fund. So what they do is that you can basically build public goods. Like public goods can be something like anything, a game which is open source. So basically public goods are open source projects which help like people in order to, like the code is also open source, so everyone can contribute and participate in it. So yeah, these are some of the platforms. So Gitcoin actually was founded in 2017, and then when Vitalik actually published that quadratic funding paper. How many of you know about quadratic funding here? Yeah, so yeah, I would explain that in a single, like a simple example. For example, there are 2 projects A and B which are actually applying for this funding grants round, and there are $1 lakh in like bounties for it. So like how this and the company wants to donate in some good projects, like, but they don't want to get into like the details of it, how it works and all. But so how this quadratic funding works is that, for example, in company A, 100 people come in and they all donate $1, and in the second project, only a single person donates $100. So in both the projects, the public funding is $100 only, but because the first, like the company A got 100 donators, like they have more community support. So from the the funding round, which is of $100,000, they'll get majority of the amount, like 90% of that amount. That's how, like that's a simple example of how quadratic funding works. So that's actually integrated to the Gitcoin grants program as well, which actually helps in funding refi projects and then open source projects. So yeah. So they launched the grants program in 2019, and then till then they have distributed about $50 million plus through these Gitcoin grants. Yeah. And yeah, Gitcoin grants round 18 is like coming from 15th to 29th. So yeah, you can create your Gitcoin passports and then participate and see how this works. So there are currently some cool projects which are actually contributing to this refi space. So some of being like Atlantis DAO, these are from India, and then Token Protocol actually tried getting carbon markets on chain, but they are lacking some issues in like onboarding the projects. So yeah, we can learn about that as well. And then Refi India is actually working on like in the Indian community. Refi India is something which is like they are doing some great work around it. And yeah. So yeah, I think in March they also had like conducted an event in Gokarna. So yeah, the refi space is growing pretty well, and then like platforms like Bitcoin are actually supporting that very much. So yeah, that's all about the talk. If you have any questions, yeah, I'm open to. Yeah, any questions regarding like Bitcoin or like the refi space, or if you are building any project or are interested in working in any of these projects in this space. So yeah, if you have any questions, then you can drop them. Yeah, you can DM me as well. Otherwise,
Generally, we get like we can easily find and contribute to DeFi projects, but how to find DeFi projects on?
yeah, so in the Gitcoin grants round, like in the round 18, like in each and every round they have certain categories. So like the open source category, and then like the infrastructure category, and then they have a different round for climate solutions as well, which like contains all the refi projects. So yeah, you can simply go on to the like Bitcoin grants round website, and you can easily find the projects which are participating there, and then yeah, you can learn about them, like learn about them, contribute to them.
Is your project open source?
Yeah, mine is currently open source, but yeah, a bit stagnant for now. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you.